Welcome everyone. Today we will see another important equipment that is used in a microfabrication lab. This is a standard oven or oven if you want to pronounce it correctly. This is a standard oven. We have Suman Chatterjee here with us to run you through the different knobs and features available in the oven. So, this oven can go up to whatever oven we are showing you today. It can go up to around 250 degrees Celsius. So, what are its applications? It can be used for, especially for microfabrication, for say PDMS molding. If you want to cure PDMS and make it hard, if you have a process cycle where you have to heat your sample to a particular temperature and cool it down to another particular temperature, keep it there for a set amount of time and again take it to another temperature. So, if you have some thermal cycling profiles and if you want to do that, then you can use the oven for this. Okay. The oven, although a very simple equipment when compared to the other equipment we have seen till now, it is still a very fundamental part of any lab actually, not necessarily a microfabrication lab. It is a fundamental part of any lab. So, what are the utilities? As I have mentioned, it can be used for curing materials like PDMS, or let us say you have a biological application where you need to grow the cells at a higher temperature, say 70 degrees Celsius, or you want to prepare some chemicals formulations at particular temperature. For all that, you can instead of using a hot plate, you can use an oven. So, there is another equipment that is available to do such thermal cycling is called a hot plate. So, that will be just a plate, as the name suggests. It will just be a platform that can go to particular temperatures and come down. There the problem is that temperature is very localized. The temperature ranges happen only at the surface of this plate. That surrounding, it will take lot of time for the surrounding to ramp up to this temperature. So, the sample, if it is a 3-dimensional sample, let us say it is bulky and it occupies space, it will be difficult to heat such samples. In such scenarios, an oven like the one that we are showing today will become more useful. So, Suman here will run us through the different, he will show you and I will explain what are the different knobs that are available in this oven. To start off, we have not switched it on. Let us just open the door and see how its arrangement inside. So, as you can see, there are trays where you can keep your samples. There are two trays where you can keep your samples. So, you can even take it out because you need to maintain these trays in a very clean manner. Okay. Frequently you have to take it out and clean it properly. So, and at the back of it, you cannot see it here, but at the back of it there are coils and fan arrangements that are used by the control system in this oven to maintain the set temperature. There is a small metal part here above that acts as kind of an exhaust for it to maintain the temperature. Let us say it gets heated up very much. Let us say we set the temperature of the oven to 70 degrees Celsius, but this is a physical practical equipment, right. So, in trying to reach to 70 degrees Celsius, it might go to 75 degrees Celsius and the control system will find out that it has reached to 75 degrees Celsius and the control system has to come back to 70. That time what happens, it would have to vent out some heat. For that, it will use these exhaust knobs to control the air inside or to take in new air, so that the set temperature can be arrived at. Now, let us switch on the equipment. So, this is the switch. So, Suman is now switching on the equipment. So, as and when he switches on, you will hear a tup sound, that is all the coil, everything powering on. Now, we have, so Suman will show you the where you will set the temperatures. So, we have a touch panel on top of the oven. So, there you see, if you see, there is a green set button which he is pointing to. So, if you click the set button, you can actually set the temperature. You can actually set the temperature that you want to look at. Let us say we will keep it at 55 degrees Celsius. So, Suman is adjusting it. So, instead of decreasing the decimal place, he can actually shift the decimal place using the shift key. Just show them the shift key. So, this is the shift key that is available. If you click that, it can shift the decimal place which you want to decrease. Now because he has to go to 55, he has changed 6 to 5. Now he will change, he has set it to 55 degrees Celsius. Let us see what is the set value. It is 55 degrees Celsius. SV is set value, PV is present value. Because we had closed it at that temperature, it has already ramped up to that temperature. Now because the temperature is higher, as you can see this temperature is higher, it will slowly settle down to a lower temperature, that is the set value. This will take some time, as a control system has to sense the present temperature, make a decision after comparing it with the set value, and then reduce the temperature. And then over time this will set conclude back to 55. Now let us say we increase it to 70 degrees Celsius. Yes, now the set value is 70 degrees Celsius. And the equipment is running. Now it will slowly ramp up and it will go to, see now once it starts telling that out signal will start going. Now it will slowly start ramping up to 70 degrees Celsius. If you can see, there is another display that is shown above this touch panel display. So that is a control system from another point within the oven. So basically the oven will have sensors at different points inside that chamber. Okay. So and then from those sensor points, this control system will sense the temperature inside and it will accordingly change the temperature so that it will go to the target temperature. So these two are from different sensors within the oven and they work together to give you that your target temperature. That is the whole idea. Now we can even, so let us switch it off now, and once we switch it off, it will ramp down to a normal temperature. So Suman is switching it off. Before we open or close the oven, you should switch it off. Now we cannot, you should not, now the temperature inside is at very high temperature. Now 60 degrees Celsius is okay, you can still open it, it is not a problem. But if we set it at like a temperature like 200 degrees Celsius, do not just go ahead and open the door. Wait for the system to settle down, come down to a normal temperature and then open it. So let us wait for few minutes and then we will open the door. Okay. Now we think that the inside temperature is manageable now. It has come down to a normal temperature. Now Suman will open the cage door. He will insert a sample which he wants to heat. See that the sample is put inside. Suman, can you show the sample inside? So that is a PDMS membrane that is kept inside and it is put in a glass dish. Why we are using glass dish? Because glass dish can withstand very high temperatures and your sample inside can be cured properly without affecting the container it is in. Now Suman has kept the sample inside, sufficiently inside so that it gets soaked in the environment. Never try to keep the sample very close to the gate entrance of the oven. Keep it inside so that it gets properly soaked within the environment in the oven. Now he has kept the sample inside, now he will close it. Now we will switch on the oven. That sound came and the set value is 70 degrees Celsius as we had set it before. So it will retain the memory from behind the previous power on and it will try to ramp up to the 70 degrees Celsius inside. Let us just give it 2 minutes. So while this ramps up, we will discuss a few precautionary measures that we should take here. See, now we have put the sample in a glass petri dish as you had seen. Let us say the dish reaches 70 degrees Celsius and suddenly you think that something is happening to your sample. Something is happening to your sample. Then you think, okay, something is happening to my sample, I need to take my sample out immediately. Please do not do that. If you directly open and take your sample out, what will happen is your petri dish is made of glass, right? The glass petri dish will undergo something called thermal shock. Because your outside environment, it might be an air conditioned lab, it might be set at 20 degrees, 22 degrees Celsius. Inside the oven it is 70 degrees Celsius. You are suddenly opening the door and taking your glass petri dish out, it will simply crack. that is called thermal shock. Please do not give thermal shock to your equipment. Okay, your something might have happened to your sample, that means you did not do your homework properly or something unexpected happened. You can always try your experiment again. In your last ditch efforts to save your sample, do not do something you can actually term as immature in the lab. Please do the homework properly and follow good lab practices. These are also part of good lab practices. Now, if you can see, the control system is slowly ramping it up. It has reached 59.7, it will slowly become 60 and it will ramp to 70 degrees Celsius. So, these are the main things that you should worry about while using an oven. And we have seen what are the different applications for an oven, how an oven at many instances is better than a hot plate, and why it is a very important and necessary equipment in a laboratory setup. Thank you. See you next time.